Alright, what's going on, guys? Back here with part 3 of my NES collection. So we ended at Q and here we got the R. So let's start here with Rad Ragged. This is Raid 2020. That's a game that I know a lot of us are going to be playing 6 years from now. Just a couple 10-gun games there. We got some RBI baseballs. And RC Prom 2. RC Prom is one of those games that kind of falls into the category of I played it so much in my youth, I rarely ever go back and replay it. Rescue Rangers was one of those up until recently. But I just played it so much, like sort of like Little Nemo and Mario 3. Those games I still just can't, even 20 years later. Rocky and Bullwinkle. I remember, I passed up on Rocky and Bullwinkle probably at least a half a dozen times. That was Robo Demons, I believe. I passed up on Rocky and Bullwinkle so much because I'd always find it in just the worst conditions. Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Romance 2. Romance 2 is a game that I would pick up now. That's game's rising pretty fast. Faster than others. Nabunaga's Ambition 2 is also rising pretty fast. There's a handful of games right now that are particularly moving, they're increasing in value, a little particularly more than others. Some sell more than others. Explode in short order. It's actually one of the more fun Power Pad games. So if you have a Power Pad and you're wanting a fun game to play for it, Explode in short order. It's a good one. Silent Service. It's another game. It's just one game I truly dislike. Silkworm. A couple skull and crossbones there. I totally forgot I had found Skull and Crossbones of Goodwill a few years back. These are two pretty fun games. Sunsoft Sky Kid. If you're looking for just a really cool arcade type experience for the Nintendo, pick up Sky Kid. You'll notice it is a 5-pin. I recommend this game because I had an arcade of it at the ice skating rink by my house growing up, and I always played it, and it's just got a neat mechanism where you're flying along and you do loops. So whenever you push the B button as per jumping, you do like a loop, so you can dodge things that way, or actually more times than other hit something. Smash TV. Super Smash TV is a little better port, but the NES one isn't too bad. Solomon's Key. 3 copies of Spelunker. One of those works. I don't know why I still have them all up there. Spider-Man. And then Spiritual Warfare below that. Squoon. That's an interesting game. If you're on a 5-pin hunt, I'd go ahead and pick up a copy of Squoon if you haven't already. And speaking of 5-pins, get yourself a copy of Stack Up. I mean, I don't know if they're still going for about 40 bucks. They might be going for a little more, but if you can get yourself a copy of Stack Up for, 40 or less, I would do that now, because that game's, man, and if you can find that boxed, that's really expensive boxed. But it's back to Squoon. Squoon's actually an interesting game, so a lot of neat little sprites, and actually a cool story to go with it, so Squoon's a good one to check out. Starship Hector, that's another really fun game. In some glare here, but we got some Star Wars. Supercars. Super Dodgeball. Super Dodgeball is a game that always held good value, even when everything else just dropped in price in 1999, 2000, 2001. Super Dodgeball always held value along with River City Ransom at about 20 bucks. It's actually lower these days. It's the only one of the very few games that actually dropped in price over the years. Getting close to the ground here. That is Tag and Dragon right there. There's Taboo, The Sixth Sense. I would like to get that game CIB one day. It's an interesting game. Deserves a lot more credit than we've given it over the years. Times of Lore. That's an interesting game. I've tried to get into it many times, and I just haven't. Tomes and Treasures is another very interesting game. Just gotta have a little patience for that game, and probably a strategy guide. I remember actually getting quite far in that when I was really young, renting it, and even bought a copy afterwards. Convinced my mom to buy me a copy because it had to do with Mayan aspects and things, Mayan culture. Wario's Woods, Werewolf. It's a pretty good action game. It's pretty tough spots in that game. There's Wampum. Wampum is kind of like Wonder Boy for the NES. So if you enjoy Wonder Boy, pick up Wampum. And then back to here. World Champ. That's a game that's going up in price too. I mean, that's getting 15 plus now. And there's Wrath of the Black Manta, one of the most common and lowest priced games in the system. And then we'll have time here to go ahead and look at a couple of other ones. There's Cowboy Kid, there's Wacky Races. Got another copy of Wayne's World over there. And then let's look at a couple of the backups here. I do have, like, these are some extras and second copies that I pulled out of the collection, and primarily to make space and whatnot. But I don't really trade NES games anymore, so I'm just gonna keep them in there and stockpile them for now. Okay, up here we got the box games. There's probably two. Bonk's Adventure. Bonk's, I got the manual for that. Get the box for Power Blade 2. So we got some games there. Alright, and then up here we have Panic Restaurant, The Jetsons, Chip and Dale 2. Sorry about that light there. We got Little Samson. We got Mighty Final Fight, Dragon Fighter up there, DuckTales 2, Zombie Nation, Menace Beach, and there's a copy of Scat. I don't know why I have Scat up there. I'm actually gonna move that soon. I've also got just a few random, repos and homebrews. I've got the Retro Zone copy of Splatterhouse, and I've got Battle Kid 1. I've also got the second Battle Kid, and then here is a Australian, I believe, HES Maxi 15. So, yeah, that's it for the NES collection. So, thanks for watching, and, you know, just stay tuned for the pickups. I think I'm right at about 80 or 81 left, so stay tuned. Peace.